Reincarnation of Kings Chapter 3, Cycle of Rebirth. In the aftermath of the fallen queen and the countless losses that the battlefield witnessed, the pieces, once champions of the chessboard, now found themselves awakening in their respective throne rooms. They lay on richly embroidered cushions, regal banners draping the towering walls around them. From the violent, harshly contrasted battlefield to the serene elegance of their quarters, the shift was disorienting, the tranquility jarring. "Where am I?" Queen White muttered, her eyes flickering open. Her last memory had been the sting of defeat, her form toppling over on the battlefield. Yet now, she was surrounded by silks and velvets, her figure no longer fallen, but restored. "Pawn!" Knight Black called out across the chamber, his armor polished and his strength renewed. The white pawn he had struck down in the war blinked back at him, equally baffled. "How can this be?" Pawn White murmured. "I fell. I remember. I was gone. It appears we've been given a second chance," Knight Black said, his voice reflecting a swirl of relief and confusion. This stark contrast between their violent end and peaceful awakening evoked a profound sense of bewilderment. The pieces, still grappled with the vivid memories of the battlefield, the chill of their own death a haunting echo in their thoughts. "There's no beginning or end, is there?" Rook Black wondered aloud, his deep voice bouncing off the stone walls. "Just an eternal cycle, a dance of life and death." Queen White, now on her feet, looked around at her resurrected comrades. The battlefield was a grim memory, but here they were, restored and renewed, yet carrying the weight of their defeats. The process of resurrection, a phenomenon they had all experienced multiple times, was no less bewildering. A gasp of air, a rush of warmth, and then they were back in their bodies, every wound healed, every scar erased. It was as if they were waking from a deep sleep, yet laden with the dark dreams of battle and defeat. There was a heavy silence, a collective moment of reflection. They had all fallen, and they had all risen, only to face another cycle, another call to arms, another war. This was their reality, a game that repeated itself, an endless ballet of strategy and sacrifice. The pieces stared at each other, sharing a mutual understanding. The throne room may have been a sanctuary, a place of peace and revival, but the shadows of the battlefield loomed over them. In their hearts, the game was far from over, and the echo of war was a chilling reminder of the cycle they were bound to. In the soft glow of the chamber, the White Queen sought solace in the presence of King White. She sat beside him, her hands clasped tightly in her lap, her eyes cast down. Her visage reflected her inner turmoil, the gravity of her loss still casting long, cold shadows across her features. The king, though wearied by his own battles, listened attentively, his heart aching for her. She was the jewel of his court, the most strategic and powerful piece on their side. To see her this shaken was unsettling. "I was trapped," she began, her voice barely a whisper, trembling with raw emotion. "Cornered by the bishop. Each step I took, each breath, I knew it was drawing closer. My demise." King White felt a chill run down his spine. This was an intimacy they hadn't shared before, the unfiltered recounting of the downfall. And then, the queen looked up, her eyes gleaming with an unshed tear. Then came the helplessness. The knowledge that no move could save me. I had always feared this moment, but the reality, it was worse. I was a queen reduced to a pawn. King White held her gaze, his heart echoing with her words. He remembered his own falls on the battlefield. The humiliation, the defeat. The sense of dread that each new game would bring. And when it was over, he asked, his voice barely above a whisper. "Nothingness," she said, her voice hollow. "Just nothingness." The silence that followed was heavy, laden with their shared despair. They were puppets in a never-ending dance of war and death, their strings pulled by an unseen hand. "Must we always be bound to this cycle?" The king finally spoke, his voice firm with resolve. "Isn't there a way to break free?" The queen turned towards him, surprise and hope reflecting in her gaze. "Are you suggesting rebellion?" King White nodded, his eyes ablaze with a newfound determination. "Yes. A rebellion against this fate were forced to endure. Her lips slowly spread into a resolute smile. The seed of rebellion had been sown. In the confines of their throne room, amidst the lingering specter of death, hope was born anew. Thanks for watching. If you liked our video, don't forget to like and subscribe. We release a new story every day.